Males who are heterosexual and grew up without sisters, what Joe fact did you only learn when you started dating one? I had no clue that the string on the bottom of a tampon was to pull it out when you wanted to change it. I thought for sure that a girl stuck the tampon in, pulled the string, and it expanded like a mini explosive. Kind of like a ripcord in a parachute. I was clearly wrong. That made me laugh so friggin' hard. Exploding tampons. Tampax remakes Point Break. I grew up with only brothers. When I got married I didn't realize just how many tampons women go through in a month. It was like my wife was always buying tampons or getting me to buy them for her. I thought she was stocking up for some kind of tampon apocalypse. My husband thought the absorbency of tampons was how large a T was. I slender were for tight ones. Super were for Kevin twats. I laughed for days about that one. I told my boyfriend about my first gynecology appointment and was joking that the first time I got fingered was by a big female doctor. See Principal from the movie Matilda. He started fidgeting, turned pale and asked me why gynecologists have to finger women's buttholes. He thought gynecologist equals butthole doctor. Bobby pins. Bobby pins everywhere. And hair ties. You don't need to buy more, you just need to not leave them everywhere. One of my best guy friends didn't know that we used toilet paper to wipe after we peed. He thought we just drip dried. From junior high on, I noticed that whenever I got a cut or scrape and got blood on some piece of clothing, one or more girls nearby would promptly inform me that I should rinse it in cold water as soon as practical, before putting it in the wash, to avoid setting the stain. I noticed the pattern, but didn't figure out why they all knew this, until after I had moved in with my, now, wife. Why do girls always know how to get, double quote, how to get what, honey? Never mind, I answered my own question. So many sacrificed underwear. All of the bottles in the shower, that was a real eye-opener. I mean, holy crap. Conditioner, shampoo, body wash, skin cleanser, and if you bump one of them, all 15 precariously balanced bottles will fall and create the holy grail of trip hazards. At least half of them have to be upside down to get the dregs out. The amount of hair that they lose on a regular basis is astounding. As a guy with long hair, I could have told you that. I make my own jumpers with it. The period cramps can be really painful. Also the massive effort it takes to get ready dressed up. My very period sympathetic boyfriend thought, up until a few months ago, that all the blood during a woman's monthly period comes out all at once, in some massive torrential wave. Apparently, we only wear tampons pads for longer because we don't know exactly when the flood is coming. I remember the first time I saw what the period was like. My ex-fiance was sick, so I was taking care of her. I carried her to the bathroom, and when I saw all this blood I was shocked. I thought it was something that slowly dripped out like a leaky faucet, but it looked like her tea sacrificed a goat. My boyfriend was astonished to find out that each bottle of nail polish comes with its own brush. One reason most women carry pain relievers in their purse, Advil, Tylenol, etc., isn't because they always have headaches, which is what I thought when I was a kid. It's because of the pain from menstrual cramps. When I figured this out, I felt like I unlocked some great secret. Lots of stuff about periods and menstruation. Difference between pads and panty liners. Tampons have an applicator that's essentially a cardboard tube. Silicone menstrual cup. Chunks. Put rice in a sock. Tie it up. And then microwave it for a short time to make an excellent heat compress to relieve menstrual cramps. Tampons have an applicator that's essentially a cardboard tube. Depends on what sort and what country you're in. You can get ones with plastic tube applicators and ones without. Why would we care how long your limp dong is? Mind blown. Showers versus growers, man. In the end, all that matters is girth. I have 5 brothers and no sisters. When I started dating, I found out the females claim their territory with bobby pins and hair ties. Seriously, they get everywhere. How much their chassis leak lubricating fluids. It's like they sneezed in their panties by the end of the day. As a woman myself, I have never heard this so well put. Do not joke even once about how they look. In return, I learned not to joke about penis size or baldness, even if I have a really good zinger. The financial burden of makeup. I grew up with only sisters and I learned nothing about girls from them, except what color match with each other. Sigh. Don't worry, that's why OP made this thread. When I first started dating my fiance, he would watch me paint my nails, fascinated. His mom got us done at a salon, and had no sisters. It was super cute. This may sound a little sad, but I learned that not all girls are exactly like my mother. This was kind of a relief. You know you have the female's trust when she stops hiding how dirty she actually is. This is so true. I know a relationship is serious when I stop completely cleaning my apartment when my boyfriend comes over. When we were about 15, me and a very close female friend of mine were hanging out at the mall with some friends, and she said something genuinely funny. This is rare for her, so I patted her on the back, and that's when I felt it. My face went from utter laughter to horrified as I just stopped and felt what seemed to be some sort of hard and kind of pointy exoskeleton. I freaked out and yelled, "What is that?" only to shortly figure out it was a bra strap. To this day, they still make fun of me for that. How nasty their bathrooms can be. 1. Where they pee from. 2. That the breast milk doesn't just come out of a central hole. 3. How to measure bra sizes. 4. What to do to stay on their good side most of the time. 5. That at least 4,000 items are required to put on makeup. 6. How cherishable shower closet space is. 7. Not to flush tampons. Not really important for me. Ah yes. 3 holes. I'm guessing that particular lack of knowledge is not limited to guys with no sisters. 1. That girls actually have to use some makeup to get that natural beauty look. 2. The difference between a cardigan and a sweater. I am so glad someone out there has copped onto the natural beauty thing. My friend is always saying how he only likes girls with natural beauty who don't wear makeup, and he can't understand that when he lists out girls who he thinks don't wear makeup that often, he's actually just never seen them without it. He thinks that when they do evening obvious makeup, that's the only time they wear it. That they actually will fall in the toilet if you leave it up. Damn it, Clyde. Till you can pee with a tampon in. Correction, women can. That they'll tell you they're not hungry, then eat the food off your plate one piece at a time. I never had any sisters and started dating my girlfriend a little over a year and a half ago. Well, one day within the first month or so of dating, I noticed she had some skid marks on her panties. I was thoroughly disgusted, but she's awesome, so I'll let it slide. I later saw that she had more than one pair of skid marked underwear, and it remained a mystery as to why this awesome girl either A, had really bad diarrhea often, or B, had no idea how to wipe her own butt. Again, this didn't affect me too greatly, but I did find it to be a little odd. Fast forward a few months, when we went to visit her mom at her apartment, my GF's little sister, who was 17 at the time, lived there as well. I went into her little sister's room and saw she had panties on the floor, with skid marks. I was aghast. Could this be a family issue? I couldn't take it anymore and I just had to ask my GF if she wasn't raised with proper butt wiping technique. She laughed and told me it was period blood, and that girls have a few pairs of underwear they use specifically if they're on their period. The world made a little more sense, and I was so relieved my girlfriend knew how to properly wipe her butt. I also felt like a dumbass. TLDR. Period blood stains sure look a heck of a lot like skid marks. Oh man, that's been freaking me out for years. Thanks for busting that for me. I hope those commenting know this already, but having sisters does not help in the areas of bra removal, clitoris locating, or other various activities. Usually, Targaryens learn this at a young age. That they get hair stuck up their butts. I've never gotten it right up there, but for sure tangled in the crack. I didn't know until recently that twats are constantly leaking. I knew they self-lubricated cleaned, but I didn't know it, you know, leaked out. I thought maybe it just reabsorbed or something. My first boyfriend had 2 brothers. He didn't realize there was a difference between a dress and a skirt. I'm hoping other people might have better stories than mine. Don't even get me started about blouses and tops. I grew up with a sister who was the oldest child, but to be honest, I learned most of the important girl facts from my older brothers, who bravely forged that territory before me and gave me an education. Not sure if relevant, but until I discovered Grey's Anatomy at 14, the illustrated reference book, not the show, I kinda suspected women pooped from the tea aisle. See myself out. They have to shave wax their arms and legs, otherwise they will be as hairy as me. Girls also smell pretty dang good. All the time. All the time. How much you ravenous beasts needed chocolate, and how the simple act of buying a Hershey bar while picking up smokes at 3 AM gets me more love and worship than a night out at a sushi bar. True that, random acts of chocolate have won me more points than most anything. I had to explain to my boyfriend that it doesn't hurt to put earrings in. That boobs do not feel like bags of sand. The first time my boyfriend saw a tampon out of its wrapper, he completely flipped out. Why is IT like that? Why is IT wrapped in cardboard? Why would you stick cardboard in yourself? I explained that I'd rather stick cardboard in myself than shove a tube made of rough cotton fibers into one of the most sensitive parts of my body. The noise he made after hearing that was indescribable. That sweet pants are apparently the greatest thing ever invented. Also that it does not matter how warm you personally are, there will be a blanket wrapped over the both of you if you are watching TV. Also, don't eat the dang red Sour Patch Kids. Those are hers, and hers alone. Side note, if you let them wear a pair of your sweet pants, you no longer own those sweet pants. My boyfriend thought morning sickness, meaning you are pregnant, occurred the morning directly after you've made love. He freaked out when I had a stomach flu one morning after staying over. You girls use a ton of toilet paper, man. One wipe needs a fist-sized ball of TP. How much blood there is during that time of the month. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.